This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of December 9th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. Paoli-based Southern Indiana Community Healthcare plans to open new locations in the Lawrence County cities of Bedford and Mitchell. The organization says the new clinics will provide obstetrics and family primary care services to the communities following the closure of Ascension Dunn Hospital in Bedford.
That especially was a huge hit to the community to lose their only delivery location there. And since we do deliveries down here, we thought it would be a helpful thing to provide a space for women who needed a place to go.
Chief Medical Officer Yolanda Yoder says the organization also plans to add behavioral health services in the future. The Vincennes University Board of Trustees has voted to extend the contract of President Chuck Johnson an additional year, taking the term through the end of 2025. Johnson has served in the role since 2015. Indiana Physical Therapy will Monday open its relocated clinic in Fort Wayne. While financial details of the move were not disclosed, the company says its previous location will remain in operation as its business office headquarters. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Bigwigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
Requests for funding are up across the board for state agencies in their budget presentations before the State Budget Committee this week, especially for personnel, construction costs, and technology services.
Key budget drafters have their concerns about whether the state can sustain those requests, especially when the forecast predicting the state's revenues for the next 2 years won't be out for another week. Republican Senator Ryan Mishler, who leads the Senate's budget efforts, noted the various challenges ahead for the 2-year spending plan and had concerns about meeting all of the requests. Mishler argued the state's estimated $4 billion reserves don't reflect the state's actual savings, since 3 of the reserve accounts, Medicaid, tuition, and rainy day, are only available in an economic emergency. Mishler said he focuses on the roughly $1.7 billion in general fund reserves when talking about places to potentially spend more money, a fund already depleted by the summer's $1 billion automatic taxpayer refund and $2.5 billion contribution toward the unfunded pre-1996 teacher retirement fund. The Indiana General Assembly will consider the next biennial state budget in next year's legislative session. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Another local governing body has approved additional funding for the Pan Am Plaza redevelopment project in downtown Indianapolis. The Capital Improvement Board of Marion County today approved up to $50 million from its balance sheet to cover inflation-related costs for the Indiana Convention Center expansion portion of the project. The addition, connected to the rest of the convention center by a new sky bridge, will include the state's largest ballroom and more than 100,000 square feet of public meeting space. The new funding comes as the development team begins preparing the site for a spring 2023 groundbreaking. The Central Indiana Corporate Partnership yesterday announced Melina Kennedy as its next Chief Executive Officer. Kennedy, who currently serves as Vice President of Product Compliance and Regulatory Affairs for Columbus-based Cummins, succeeds the retiring David Johnson.
If I could pick the dream job that really leverages what I love and what I think I have a good skill in with business, community, government, and even some law, this would be it. And I think this is the organization that brings all of those things together to make it a better place to live and more prosperous for everyone, including led by the CEOs, but for the benefit of everyone. I couldn't think of a better fit for me and also something that I would be excited about.
Kennedy is no stranger to the CICP. As a representative of then-Mayor Bart Peterson's administration, she was part of the team that established BioCrossroads, the state's life sciences initiative, in 2002. She also currently serves as president of the Capital Improvement Board of Managers in Indianapolis and was the Democratic candidate for mayor in 2011. Children's Museum of Indianapolis CEO Jennifer Pace Robinson is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.